Despite what anyone says, Henry Cavill leaving The Witcher is a really bad sign for showrunners. Since the inception of the show, fans have been critical of the series, with many stating that the only reason they are still watching it was because of Cavill. Now that he is no longer part of it, the interest has pretty much been left with him. With this, it is only natural that the showrunners would want to hold on to Cavill for as long as they can and use his name to promote it. Recently, it was revealed that Netflix might be splitting Cavill's final season into 2 parts, and with that, many feel like this is just an attempt by showrunners to further milk Henry Cavill's name so that they can continue to use him as promotion for the show. As per Screen Rant, they say here, as the streamer continues to do so for other titles, showrunner Lauren S. Hisrich says that The Witcher Season 3 may get a 2-part release model. The next chapter of the Netflix series will be the swan song for Henry Cavill as the actor departs, and Liam Hemsworth is set to take up the mantle for The Witcher Season 4. Plot details for The Witcher Season 3 are currently unknown, though it is expected to see Cavill's monster hunter facing off against the Wild Hunt after they were teased in the Season 2 finale, as well as helping Ciri coming to terms with her burgeoning powers and learn how they are tied to the mysterious monoliths located around the continent. Right now, it is still unclear exactly how they will be replacing Henry Cavill, but many believe that they might actually consider rebooting the show altogether through the spin-off show Blood Origin, pretty much just erasing that timeline and with it bringing in the new Witcher. Right now, all of this is still just a fan theory, but definitely something that could potentially happen. Ain't Freakin' Robot reports, if you follow news about Henry Cavill or Netflix's The Witcher, then you no doubt already know the star will be replaced in Season 4 of the series by Liam Hemsworth, but so far there's been no word if this will impact the story. However, a new fan theory suggests that the events of the miniseries The Witcher, Blood Origin hint toward the main series events rebooting after Cavill leaves. In particular, the theory speculates that a Blood Origin post-credits scene proves the timeline of the main series has been changed, thus opening the door to a clean slate. The theory raised by YouTuber The Sporking News points to the post-credits scene in which the mage Avalak travels to the future and makes eye contact with Ciri as she plays dice in Sintra, just like when we first meet her in The Witcher. The YouTuber theorizes this moment, which unfolds differently in the main series, has changed the narrative's timeline. Right now, it is still unclear exactly how all of it is going to play out, but one thing is certain, and that is the fact that the showrunners is not yet ready to let Cavill go. While speaking with Collider to discuss the recently released prequel series, Lauren S. Hisrich offered an update on The Witcher Season 3. When asked if Netflix will give it a 2-part release model in the same vein as its other shows, the showrunner stated that no proper discussions have taken place for such, but that they are not ruling out the possibility as post-production continues on the season. She is quoted as saying, "We haven't discussed it yet, but at this point, I think what we see happening across all sorts of streamers, I wouldn't rule it out. I do think that, obviously, we don't put anything out that we're not incredibly proud of, so that dictates our entire launch date, and I think it'll be interesting. Again, we have still a very long time, 8-ish months or so until Witcher Season 3 comes out, so God willing, we get it all out at the same time. But who knows, we'll see what happens. It is unclear whether or not splitting the seasons into 2 parts will be a good idea or not. In the past, this is something that has definitely worked, but that is usually for a series that has 16 episodes and is also a lot longer. The Witcher only has 8 episodes and is less than an hour long. Splitting them into 2 parts is most likely not going to work and hopefully will not happen. Right now, the Witcher franchise is not experiencing the best time, so ensuring that the 3rd season is well received will be vital going forward. Blood Origin was just released and completely flopped, so the franchise really cannot afford another bad season if they have any hope of having a 4th. Right now, everyone is saying that Liam Hemsworth will be taking over from Cavill, but with the way things are going, he might not even get an opportunity to play the beloved character. Blood Origin specifically could not have come at the worst time. With the departure of Cavill and all the backlash that followed, showrunners were always going to be fighting an uphill battle. Combine that with the fact that the show was just completely unnecessary, and you end up with a disaster, and that is exactly what Blood Origin was. Screen Rant says here in their article as well, part of Blood Origin's struggles might be that the series came at a poor time, with the loss of Henry Cavill causing an uproar within the fandom. However, The Witcher Blood Origin has mostly suffered based on its own mistakes and shortcomings as a series. With the news that Cavill is departing The Witcher and Blood Origin tanking, Netflix's once blossoming franchise may be in serious trouble of losing its fan base. The Witcher Season 3 will need to avoid the following mistakes made in Blood Origin or risk losing the fan base altogether. Obviously, poor timing and Henry Cavill's departure is not the main reason why Blood Origin failed. It was all thanks to poor writing and execution, but all of the negative press definitely did not do the show any favors. When it comes to the show itself, 4 episodes is just not enough time for anyone to get familiar with any of the characters. The problem that underscores the entire series is that there simply was not enough time for the characters or the plot to mature over 4 episodes. The Blood origin ending does not feel earned because the plot is so badly underdeveloped and the characters follow woefully generic arcs. One of the biggest issues with the episode cuts is that there is very little time for world building. With 12 years separating Blood origin from Geralt of Rivia's world, there is much to be explained about the world at that time, especially considering the continent did not even have humans on it yet. Unfortunately, at this point, the Witcher series on Netflix has received such a bad reputation that it is going to be extremely difficult for them to bring it back and actually continue with the show in any meaningful capacity. The showrunners did state that they are planning on doing even more spin-off shows, but after the latest release, I am not too sure whether that will happen or not.